Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kwadash. I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace, blessings, and salutations. So I get to the hopeful elect out there, scattered around the four corners of the earth. So I'm not going to make this video long at all. This is going to be very short. I just want to make a disclaimer. You got this lady, this individual, Landa Mommy. I believe Landa is the name of her child, but I could be wrong. So basically, she's a quote unquote sister. Not really a sister, but she's one of the tribes, and it's like what woman or whatever. And at first, she was cool. She started following a lot of brothers, and these are mainly brothers that are in these GMS camps. Now, I know about the order of us not teaching on social media, but a lot of brothers, they still have their social medias to do business, to get in contact with brothers that may not even be on the group chats or whatever, to get contact with individuals outside of GMS, because you still have brothers that follow the doctrine but are not a part of GMS. They have their own camps. So brothers use Instagram and other social media platforms to get in contact with them, And you have this brother right here, Yawasop. Now I believe Yawasop, he's part of one of the camps in the east or in the south, somewhere there, either the east coast or the south. I know he's not on the western coast, but I know he's on the east or the south, somewhere there. I'm not sure if it's Georgia. I'm not sure if I think it's Iowa. No, not Iowa. I think it's man, somewhere in the north, like the middle north. I believe he camps there because his wife, she makes garments for brothers, and the package, it comes from that area. I'm not gonna give out their whole address or whatever. That's private information. But nevertheless, basically, I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened. I don't know what started this argument over here, but I guess she may have said something to him that triggered him. Now, I'm gonna give you a backstory on this woman. There's another brother named Shapal. You may know him from the Dallas camp, and he ran across issues with this woman as well. There was an incident where, uh, he posted something on the story, and she came back scoffing, basically talking shit and trying to correct him or whatnot. And Shapal, the brother, he didn't really like the spirit that she was coming with, because it was more of a you ain't shit nigga type spirit, vibration. There's also another brother, Gabar, from LA. I'm not sure if he's in LA, but I think he's from California. He also ran into an issue with her. Now, you gotta understand, some of these brothers, they're a little bit, young. They don't really have a mature mindset, Not that they're not mature enough, but, they play around a lot, and they may post some things on their story that may be a little bit, vulgar or whatever. But that doesn't give you the right to, go and harass the brother, because you got to be careful, Even though we are prophets, we're not monks. We don't levitate on clouds and abstain from sex for 50 years or whatnot, We are not, we're not like the Most High, let me say, because we're men. We're in the flesh, and we have carnal desires. So once you understand that, you were able to push aside the nonsense that we usually spew out, because you gotta understand, us as men, even though we're prophets, we have our things and our hobbies, And I don't think this woman understands that, She thinks that being a prophet is not talking about sex and doing all this stuff. And you can see here in the messages, man, she accuses brother of being a rapist. She says, nah, you the fake prophets the Most High talks about. She doesn't even say, she crossed out the message here. Nah, you the fake prophets that the Most High talks about. Get on, weird ass nigga. Go get you a wife, weird ass rapist. So, there, you already see the spirit shit coming in. Now, let me remind you, GMS, they have a stigma of all their members being rapists, and that's what a lot of these wicked niggas have done, starting with Polite, Sonetta, and many other camps that were involved with that. Anytime GMS names comes up among these other camps, what's the first thing they do? They teach raping little girls. That's what they do, and they use that as a tactic to pull on the emotions of you jakes, because majority of you guys grew up with your mothers. You guys grew up in a single mother household, so naturally you're built off of emotions. You don't think logically. I was fortunate enough, but I grew up with my mother and my father up to a certain age, and then I moved with my father, and I grew up with him ever since. So I have a logical mindset. I'm not emotional. I think these through. That's why I have a different vibration than most of you ends out there. And I'm gonna call you guys that. I'm gonna call you ends because let me give you the truth. I actually despise you jakes. You jakes in the world. I despise it. I look down on you guys. Because I see the way you guys act, and I say these are the ends. The jakes that got us into this mess. That brought all this hell upon us. All because of their wickedness. So I have a deep hatred and despisement for you ends out there, you jakes in the world. And I'm not going to say the whole word because they're going to cut this video down and give me a strike, like what they've been doing on the comment board. But that's just how I feel about you jakes. I totally despise you ends. But that's nevertheless. So, and I'm going to bring a few precepts as well. But I just want to get the point across. She goes on to call him a rapist and this and that and a delusional piece of shit. And get the fuck out of my DM and this and that. And I'm gonna say this too, to you brothers out there. You guys have to stop following these women, okay, on Instagram. I'm gonna say that through the spirit because you know just because she has a head wrap on and she says Shalom and she has a Hebrew name does not make her righteous. And you do have righteous sisters out there, but for the most part, man, women, they are not natural righteous vessels. And what I mean by that is that women, they don't have the faith and the drive of a man. They need to see things happen in order for them to believe. Which it goes for some certain men as well, but those are weak men, or I would say men that have been allotted that lot. Like Thomas. As what people call Thomas the unbeliever. He needed to see something in order to believe. But that goes into the different levels of the elect. That doesn't mean he was wicked. It just means that he was on a different level than the rest of the disciples at that time. But nevertheless, women, they have to see something in order to believe. So when they don't see hell at their doorstep, even though it's brewing up, it gives them that false sense of security to go ahead and talk mess to anyone, regardless of the consequences. And I've seen this happen. First I examine the matter because the scripture says, and examine the matter first, then rebuke. And I believe it's in the book of Sirach. You got to examine the matter before you go ahead and rebuke. Now, like I said before, I don't know what caused this whole argument, but I do know that this woman, she has a bad report among the brotherhood. A lot of brothers despise and hate her, and some brothers, I know one brother, Shapal, he even put some curses on him because he has a deep hatred for her, which is understandable. His spirit despises her. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get a scripture. This is Proverbs 9 verse 13. A foolish woman is clamorous; she is simple and knoweth nothing, and that's what you see here. You know, see you women, you guys have to do less talking and just more watching. Uh, and this goes out for you men as well. You men got to stop following these women. I don't understand. You see a woman that looks good, and you just follow her. And you see me, I don't follow these Israelite women. You know, when they follow me, I barely follow them back because I don't have time for their madness, and most of the time they're married. You even have married women following me. You know, because at first it looks like they're not married, but when you search on their page, because you gotta accept their follow request. When you accept their follow request and you search on the page, you find out they're married. You get all mad, like why? You know, it's just a bunch of madness on social media. And truth be told, you know, if you're a man that has a woman, your woman shouldn't be having a social media at all because that shit is madness, and there's no respect on that platform because everybody's hiding behind the screen. You know, if it would be different, it was said in person. She wouldn't say this in front of the brother in person, you know, because one, she'll get cut with the scriptures, condemned and given her judgment, and two, uh, if this was the ancient world, she would have been killed on the spot, you know, stoned, beaten, or even worse, you know. Uh, so you know, I'm going to get a few more precepts, and I'm gonna say this: I caught this woman on her page plenty of times, trying to teach. You know, that's what she does, trying to teach brothers and whatnot. She goes on there posting precepts and whatnot. It's just a bunch of madness. She's all into the spirituality, into the 12, not the 12 manners, but the zodiac signs and all this madness. And you can see that the spirit is not working with her, you know. Which, you know, the spirit doesn't really work with women as anyway, but you do have the elect lady out there, but they're very, very tiny. You're like less than 0.5% of the population, you know. So I'm not surprised to see this woman all bugged the fuck out, you know. But it's First Timothy's 2 and 12. Let me start at 11. Well, actually, let me start at verse 9. And the men are also the women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. So really, women are not supposed to have braided hair, gold, pearls, or any of that. You know, they're supposed to look plain. But which becometh woman professing godliness with good works, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man, but to be in silence. Now, I'm not saying that you can't talk back to a man, like to answer a question or whatnot. But there's a difference between talking back and replying to a question than, you know, scoffing and talking shit, you know. And like I said earlier, she's been caught teaching on her platform plenty of times, you know. It's just something that you women don't get. But basically, I just want to make this a quick video that you brothers should watch out for her, you know. She's bringing a lot of strife on Instagram, and a lot of brothers are starting to despise her. And this brother right here, Yalsat, the Levite, the fellow Levite, he's part of one of the GMS camps. So he's one of the younger brothers, you know. So I just want to give this quick disclaimer out there to the argument out there. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.